Okay, day 3 of human development. We're going to continue on with the slides. Make sure that you are filling out the worksheet for today and handing it in then. Okay. So, an infant's head is 1/4 the size of their body. So, if you look at the diagram here, this is a fetus. So, this is when they're still inside the womb, basically. For they're 2 months old, 5 months old, that's still within the mom's stomach. When they're born, this is the shape of their head compared to their body, and then it'll eventually elongates and equals out, becomes more proportionate. So you guys are right about here at the 12-year-old, 12, 13, 14, that kind of area. Okay. All right, fontanelles we talked about earlier. They are open spaces in the skull. They are, again, they're called soft spots. So you want to be very careful when you're holding a baby that's newborn. You want to always make sure that you're supporting the head and the neck because the head is so big and unproportionate to the body. There can be issues with holding up the head. They don't have the muscles yet. So holding the baby correctly, you can see there's the fontanelles here, the red spots. And notice that the hand is cradling the head very gently. So when you are picking the baby up or putting the baby down, you always want to make sure that there's a hand underneath the head to support the neck and the weight of the head. Again, other examples, let me get rid of this. Other examples of holding a baby. Again, every picture, the head is being supported. If you're holding the baby up top, same thing. You never want to be carrying something hot or not be in control and end up maybe hurting the baby or dropping the baby or having issues with holding the baby. So be careful when you're going down the steps. Kids and elderly, their arm muscles aren't as strong. So a lot of times they're sitting down to hold the babies. They can put their arm on like a chair or like an armrest or something just to help support their weight. So that's just an example of young and old holding a baby as well. Right. So other facts are infants enjoy and respond to their mother's face. That's one of the first faces they see when they come out. They're used to hearing the mom's voice, so they recognize the face more because they're with the mom 24/7. They also learn through their senses. Again, we talked about how much they put into their mouths to learn. They want to touch and grab everything. The only way they communicate is through crying. If they're hungry, they're tired, they need a diaper change, they want to be held, that kind of thing. They cry. That's the only way that they communicate. They can't tell you that they want something. So we're going to talk about something very serious today. It's called shaken baby syndrome. A baby can suffer severe damage if shaken. This occurs when someone gets really frustrated at the cries because the baby only communicates with crying. That's the only sound that they hear, and that can be very hard for people who maybe aren't ready to have a kid or they just can't handle all of the crying. They're tired. Parents do not get a lot of sleep. Newborn babies get up every 2 to 3 hours to be fed and changed. So your sleep is interrupted every 2 to 3 hours with a newborn. Okay, so what damage can be done when someone shakes a baby? And we're not talking about for shaking them for hours. We're talking seconds that the damage, this is what damage can happen. We'll talk about it in the next slide. So shaken baby syndrome, damage caused by shaken baby can be brain damage, cerebral palsy, learning disabilities, physical disabilities, paralysis, blindness, and death can even occur. You can see on the diagram to the right how the brain is moving inside the skull. It could rupture spinal cords. Um, it can cause um, blood clots, pressure up against the eye as well. Um, and that's just a few of the things. One shaken baby and four dies. Of the thousands that survive death, serious injury usually occurs. Almost 80% of perpetrators of shaken baby syndrome are male. I don't really know why that statistic is so high and it's the male. I don't know if they just can't handle the crying or, they weren't used to, they don't have a bond like the mother does. And it's not just moms and dads, it's caregivers, babysitters, aunts, uncles, cousins, um, school officials. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is watch this video. It is a very emotional one. So just be prepared. It is a serious topic about babies getting injured and people taking their anger out on an innocent child and what can happen and how their lives, the child's life is completely changed. The caregiver's life is completely changed. Parents, it affects a lot of people. So watch this. That is not what I wanted.